Just like Diddy, Epstein didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing.
The Epstein scandal changed the way people looked at power forever. But when Jeffrey Epstein died, the attention didn't disappear. If anything, it became even more intense. Because suddenly, the focus shifted toward the people who had been around him for years. And one name kept coming back over and over again: Ghislaine Maxwell. But what really pushed the conversation into another level was when Candace Owens started speaking publicly about the celebrity connections surrounding Maxwell.
He went out there and claimed there were tens of thousands of hours of tape. There are, by the way, but they are child pornography. The reason the FBI is not releasing them is because those tapes do not include underage people with third parties on Epstein Island. That is not what the tapes are. I also have sources in the federal government who are covering this stuff and have seen the documents. Those tapes are just child porn. That's all. That's what they are. That's why the FBI is not releasing them. As far as the Epstein list, what I have been told by my sources is that there is no Epstein list, that basically there's a black book of Jeffrey Epstein contacts. And the vast majority of those contacts are already out there publicly. That's why you know names like Prince Andrew or Alan Dershowitz or some of the names that have been mentioned here. Those contacts, there is no evidence, according to the DOJ and the FBI, and again, that's public, there's no evidence that any of those third parties were having girls trafficked to them. And that is not evidence that was made clear, certainly, to the DOJ or the FBI. Here is Tucker then asserting that it was actually Mossad. Again, without evidence, not a shock. Of course, this is where Tucker was going. This has become the hot speculation on the internet, is without evidence. You say that Mossad was running Jeffrey Epstein. When I say without evidence, I mean without evidence. Naftali Bennett, the former Israeli prime minister, said, quote, "As a former Israeli prime minister, with the Mossad having reported directly to me, I say to you with 100% certainty, the accusation that Jeffrey Epstein somehow worked for Israel or the Mossad running a blackmail ring is categorically and totally false. This accusation is a lie being peddled by prominent online personalities such as Tucker Carlson, pretending they know things they don't." And in fact, I followed up with the former Prime Minister, Naftali Bennett, and what he told me is that Mossad has not been active in the United States against the United States since the Jonathan Pollard scandal of 1987, when a U.S. Army contractor who's actually working for the Navy revealed classified information to the Israeli government. He was prosecuted by the United States government and ended up in prison.
I didn't watch
for
this whole
almost
clip.
30
This is
years.
hilarious.
And so Israel since then has not spied on the United States with Mossad.
Okay, guys. Well, there you have it. It's just, I don't know how he does it with a straight face. I just like, well, anyway, guys, there's millions of emails, but don't even it's like, Mossad hasn't been doing nothing. I know it seems weird because BB's like always here or whatever, and we seem to be doing their bidding everywhere. But the Mossad just like said in 9 days, they were like, I'm a chill. And they haven't done a single thing here at all. I know it might look that way. Miriam Adel said, she doesn't even know their names. She doesn't know who they are, actually. She's doing her thing and she's giving Trump $200 million, but it ain't got nothing to do with the Mossad. So I just wanted to bring you that stunning report from Ben Shapiro. Thank you for clarifying, Benjamin.
What? 21 car? What? They could have gave me a car.
Because this wasn't just about one woman anymore. It became a much bigger discussion about influence, fame, money, and the uncomfortable reality of who had access to these elite circles behind closed doors. And the moment old photos started resurfacing online, everything changed. Images of actors, musicians, billionaires, politicians, and socialites standing beside Maxwell suddenly looked different to people. What once seemed like normal celebrity party photos became something the internet couldn't stop analyzing. Now, to be clear, being photographed with someone is not proof of wrongdoing. That distinction matters, and Candace Owens repeatedly points that out while still asking the questions many people are afraid to ask.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
We have flight logs, we have information, names, that will come out. But there's a general frustration with accountability. We take it halfway, we don't take it home. And I really believe that now with Cash and Pam, there will be accountability.
Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out my little Men in Black tool, and just wipe your memory real quick. Phew, phew. She didn't say any of that. Phew.
Sorry. The FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
Sean Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that.
There you have it, you guys. That is transparency. That's transparency. I mean, I don't know what more you want from your government. Do you feel like they're laughing at us? I feel like they're laughing at us. We are definitely in clown world. I'm not a huge Elon Musk fan because I think he plays a role in the coming AI system of controlling global affairs. But he did nail it with this clown meme tweet. I will say that. We will release the Epstein list. We just need more time. The Epstein list is on my desk. There is no Epstein list. Interestingly enough, though, I was contacted by a certain someone. For those of you who enjoyed my Brigitte series, Xavier Poussard has been working quite diligently over the last couple of years, not just on the story of Brigitte Macron and this weird ring that happens in France, but also that investigation brought him to Jeffrey Epstein. Because Jeffrey Epstein, as Ghislaine Maxwell, she was French as well, Mossad, and the investigation of Brigitte brought him to Jeffrey Epstein, and he said to me, Candace, would you want to do a series on Epstein? He asked me this about 2 months ago. And what I heard was, would you like to die? Would you like to die? Because that's kind of where, do you want to play a game sort of a thing? And maybe where our government, with all of their resources, is failing, I don't know, maybe it will be up to us. So what can I say, guys? Stay tuned.
Because according to her, the real issue isn't just who attended a party or who shook hands with Maxwell. The real issue is how someone like Ghislaine Maxwell was able to operate inside powerful social circles for so many years without anyone stepping in sooner. And once that question entered the public conversation, the entire story took on a different tone. Because people weren't only looking at Maxwell anymore, they started looking at Hollywood itself. For years, Ghislaine Maxwell moved through elite society like she belonged there. She attended private dinners, celebrity galas, luxury vacations, and high-profile events that most ordinary people could never even dream of entering. She wasn't hiding in the shadows. She was visible, constantly visible. That's what makes this story feel so disturbing to many people now. Looking back, Maxwell appeared comfortable around some of the most famous names in the world. She smiled for cameras, she stood beside celebrities at exclusive gatherings, she blended into environments filled with wealth and influence so naturally that nobody publicly questioned it for a very long time. And according to Candace Owens, that's exactly the problem. Because in her view, the system surrounding celebrity culture often protects people with status. It creates an environment where fame can sometimes shield uncomfortable truths. She argues that certain individuals gain access to spaces ordinary people never see, and once they're accepted into those circles, accountability becomes much harder. What nobody expected was how fast the internet would begin connecting every celebrity image tied to Maxwell after her conviction. Suddenly, old photos exploded across social media, clips resurfaced, interviews got revisited, even harmless interactions were being dissected frame by millions of people online. Some celebrities tried to distance themselves immediately. Others stayed silent, and that silence only fueled more speculation. Candace Owens stepped directly into that storm, but instead of simply throwing accusations around, she focused on what she believed the public should really pay attention to, the larger system behind these elite connections. She questioned why certain powerful people always seemed protected. She questioned how scandals involving influential figures often stay hidden until everything finally collapses. And she questioned why ordinary people are expected to ignore patterns that seem impossible to overlook once the facts come out. But here's where things became extremely complicated, because once the internet starts building narratives, lines begin to blur, and Candace herself acknowledged that danger. She repeatedly emphasized that association alone does not equal guilt. Just because someone attended an event or appeared in a photograph does not mean they participated in criminal behavior. That distinction became one of the central points in her commentary. Still, the public couldn't stop looking, and honestly, that reaction wasn't surprising. The Maxwell case became one of the most shocking scandals in modern history because it shattered people's trust in elite institutions. Suddenly, ordinary viewers weren't just questioning one person, they were questioning entire industries: Hollywood, politics, media, billionaires, all of it. People began wondering how many secrets powerful circles were capable of hiding.
When I said it was a conspiracy. Now these Epstein emails are getting released and people are looking up, and by people I mean the mainstream media. They're willing to accept that maybe I was telling the truth. He's also married to a dude because he's gay, so that makes sense. But I guess we'll wait for the next email dump for the reliably dishonest press is prepared to admit that part too. And then this text chain that is happening, they are discussing Emmanuel Macron's boyfriend. It is Epstein, and I believe in other chats he's talking with Steve Bannon, and this says, along with some other tidbits, I was shown a photo of Macron's boyfriend. Hypocrisy. There are more emails referencing the fact that Emmanuel Macron is gay. And I think the biggest clue is that he married a dude. But apparently now people are willing to accept that Emmanuel Macron is not a straight Catholic man by any stretch of an imagination. No, in fact, I know his trigger. His trigger is MK Ultra. And his trigger is anybody that discusses his wife. And there's something there. Okay. Now that we are kind of graduating into the Epstein files as a society, you can start to separate that all of these facts from fiction, recognize that the media is out there to consistently lie and to protect the elites. They have money, they have power, they do not have the truth on their side. And many of these things that you may have thought were conspiracies, things that I grew up thinking were conspiracies, are so obviously not conspiracies at all. It's getting interesting, but we can put that as another thing that I was right about. Unfortunately, I don't want to be right about these things sometimes, but when it came to Emmanuel Macron, yeah, that's been pretty obvious. Any woman looks at Brigitte and just goes, nah, nope, something not right there.
Candace Owens tapped directly into that fear. She talked about how celebrity culture often creates a kind of untouchable image around famous individuals. Fans become emotionally attached to public figures. The media builds giant brands around them. Entire careers depend on protecting reputations. And according to Candace, that environment can sometimes make it easier for dangerous behavior to remain unnoticed or ignored. The conversation became even louder when clips started resurfacing showing celebrities joking about Epstein years before the public fully understood the seriousness of his crimes. Some interviews suddenly felt uncomfortable in hindsight. Some comments aged terribly. Some interactions that once looked harmless now carried a completely different energy. And that's when social media exploded. People started creating timelines, threads, video breakdowns, TikTok compilations. Everyone wanted answers. Everyone wanted to know who knew what. And in that chaos, facts and speculation started mixing together at an alarming speed. Candace Owens kept returning to one specific point: confirmed information matters more than internet rumors. That became a major part of her message. She argued that the public should focus on documented facts, court records, and verified reporting instead of blindly believing every viral theory online. Because once speculation takes over completely, the truth becomes harder to separate from fiction. But even while making that distinction, she still challenged the public to think critically about how power operates behind closed doors. Because Ghislaine Maxwell wasn't isolated from society. She wasn't some unknown figure nobody had ever seen before. She had access to elite environments filled with wealthy and influential people. That much is undeniable. And according to Candace, that reality alone raises legitimate questions about how those environments function. The deeper people looked into Maxwell's connections, the more unsettling the situation became emotionally. Many fans felt betrayed. Some couldn't understand how celebrities they admired for years could even be remotely connected to someone at the center of such a disturbing scandal. Others became frustrated watching the internet turn every photograph into automatic proof of guilt. And that tension created an emotional divide online. One side believed the entire system surrounding celebrity culture needed to be exposed completely. The other side warned against destroying people's reputations based purely on assumptions. Candace Owens positioned herself because at the center of all this were actual victims whose lives were permanently affected. And according to her, that truth should never get buried underneath viral speculation and social media chaos. Still, the emotional impact on Hollywood itself was impossible to ignore. Some celebrities suddenly found themselves dealing with public backlash simply because old images resurfaced online. Others faced non-stop questioning from fans and journalists. Public trust shifted almost overnight. Even innocent associations started carrying reputational damage. And for many people inside the entertainment industry, that fear became very real. Because once the public starts questioning the system itself, nobody feels completely untouchable anymore. The Maxwell scandal also exposed something deeper about celebrity culture that made many viewers uncomfortable. Fame creates illusion. People see glamorous lifestyles, red carpets, luxury vacations, private jets, exclusive parties. But behind that image, there's often a world ordinary fans never fully understand. Candace Owens leaned heavily into that idea. She described elite social circles as environments filled with influence, secrecy, and protection. She questioned whether powerful people are sometimes treated differently simply because of their status. And those questions resonated strongly with audiences already losing trust in institutions across the board. At the same time, critics accused her of fueling suspicion without concrete evidence against many individuals. That criticism became part of the controversy too, because in today's media world, emotional narratives spread incredibly fast, especially online. And once the internet locks onto a story, it rarely slows down. Every new interview gets analyzed, every statement gets interpreted 10 different ways, every silence becomes suspicious. And that pressure creates enormous emotional strain for everyone connected to the conversation, whether fairly or unfairly. For the public, the scandal triggered anger and confusion. For celebrities, it created fear about how quickly public opinion can turn. And for victims watching the world debate these issues online every day, it likely reopened painful emotions repeatedly. That's why this story continues to hit.
Sometimes scandals reveal more than individual wrongdoing. Sometimes they expose cracks in entire systems people once trusted blindly. And once those cracks become visible, it changes how the public sees everything afterward. Candace Owens didn't create those questions, she amplified them. She forced uncomfortable conversations into the spotlight. She challenged viewers to think critically about influence, celebrity culture, and the way powerful circles operate behind closed doors. But at the same time, she also reminded people that facts matter, evidence matters, confirmed information matters, because without that line, outrage can quickly become chaos. And maybe that's why this story continues to dominate public attention. People are still searching for clarity. They're still trying to understand how someone like Ghislaine Maxwell managed to exist inside elite society for so long without the full truth being exposed sooner. That question still haunts the internet today. Because in the end, this wasn't just a celebrity scandal. It became a mirror reflecting public distrust, media obsession, internet speculation, and sometimes scandals reveal more than individual wrongdoing. Sometimes they expose cracks in entire systems people once trusted blindly. And once those cracks become visible, it changes how the public sees everything afterward. Candace Owens didn't create those questions. She amplified them. She forced uncomfortable conversations into the spotlight. She challenged viewers to think critically about influence, celebrity culture, and the way powerful circles operate behind closed doors. But at the same time, she also reminded people that facts matter, evidence matters, confirmed information matters, because without that line, outrage can quickly become chaos. And maybe that's why this story continues to dominate public attention. People are still searching for clarity. They're still trying to understand how someone like Ghislaine Maxwell managed to exist inside elite society for so long without the full truth being exposed sooner. That question still haunts the internet today. Because in the end, this wasn't just a celebrity scandal. It became a mirror reflecting public distrust, media obsession, internet speculation, and the uncomfortable reality of how power